All right, Josh, tell your barbershop story.
So basically,
guys, we have to pray before we share this story. Ready?
Dear Lord, please let Josh's story be totally swaggin' and hilarious. Let it be.
Amen.
Dear Lord, let this turkey dinner be swaggin'. let it be dripping out my mouth.
Anyways, so there I was. I was getting my hair cut, right? And my barber, he had recently left his old place for a myriad of reasons. And so I was like, hey, what's
a myriad of reasons?
It's okay, we thought the same.
So I was like, so why'd you leave? And he was like, oh yeah, the place got robbed and like a bunch of other stuff. And he was like, one of the employees at work, or one of my coworkers, whatever, he's this really gay guy. He had a really fat butt. And I was like, yeah. He has the fattest butt you've ever seen, okay?
You gotta give the guy credit.
It's literally so massive, okay? Like, he would walk around. Apparently, he told me his pants split one time. And,
at work?
At work. He's apparently he squatted down and his pants split.
Why can't I be that guy?
And so, okay, so anyways, he told me, he was like, yeah, so basically this guy, he had been
he had been straddling the poopies.
Basically what he had been doing is they had waxing rooms or whatever, right, where there was like this small room and it was like a closed door. And so the guy, he would his clients would tip him a bunch, a lot of money, and they go into the waxing room and he'd give them head.
What?
And
yeah,
so
baby.
the Filipino butt guy would give head.
Yes, the Filipino butt guy.
He went and give head. So this is what he did. So one time, this is how he got caught. So one time,
he essentially gave people a happy ending.
Yes, he was giving people
like that. That's so
because
giving people
massage.
That's
massage
exactly
parlors.
the phrase that my barber said. He said he was giving people happy endings. And this old he's doing this old lady,
because that's wrong.
And this old lady is like screaming. Whatever, and he's like, I can't believe she won't shut up, whatever. And so the receptionist comes in and she's like,
wait, so he was
doing this in an enclosed room, right?
And she was just screaming.
She was screaming, but she was moaning.
She's moaning
very
loudly.
And so she was like, the receptionist goes by. She's like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone in the entire thing could hear it. And she goes,
when you die,
are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, she's just screaming in pain because of the waxing or whatever. She's getting her eyebrows waxed, which it isn't painful. She starts like moaning a bunch again. The receptionist doesn't even knock this time. She just opens the door and sees him doing it. And
she what? Sorry.
She just sees him doing it, like giving, I did a girl or whatever. And then
a little tongue action.
And then he told me the old lady was like, well, we've been caught now. You just want to go finish it later at my house? And he said yes.
So he wasn't even getting paid?
No, he was getting paid.
Oh,
he was getting paid. He got tipped like $400. It was
$400?
It was like a ton or whatever. It was like $100.
Good head, baby.
But okay, and then
I mean the Filipino butt guy, he
and so
his ass is so fat.
PBG kids.
His ass was so fat.
He split his
And so so apparently there's this old guy, right, who came in 3 times in a day. And it was one for a haircut, haircut in the morning, then have his eyebrows waxed in the afternoon, and then, it's a third time having his nose waxed. But literally, he was literally just getting
You got hit twice in one day?
3 times!
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Exactly. And then, and this is what he said. My barber was like, he went up and asked him, he was like, dude, so why do you do this or whatever? He's like, oh, back in my country or whatever, I was kidnapped or whatever, and I was forced to become a prostitute or or whatever, and then people would like ask if his butt is real, and he was like, "Oh, my butt is real or whatever." I don't get why people would always think it's fake. And it's really so fucking massive, you can't think it's real. And then he's like, "Oh, I had as a prostitute, I got fat injections or whatever."
So it's not real.
So it's just not like a
it's not prosthetic, an implant
or whatever. It's just like
so
fat injections.
Kim K?
So he can't get it out. Kim K. Like Kim K.
Kim K has fat injections.
She has fat injections in her.
Why are you looking at me like that?
And anyways,
I wrote the book on Kim Kardashian.
I wrote the book on Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. It's Kim Kardashian.
I wrote the book.
You're talking to the guy who wrote the book.
I'm the author. You hear me?
I'm the author.
Oh, I'm a big fan of your work. I love the book Kim K.
I just have to figure out how.
Figure? Whoa.
I believe he means figure.
What?
I went and spoke with the door
Figure?
man. Let's just say he won't be.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I'm listening to the audio.
Back to testing.
I'm listening to the audio, Jesse. I can't hear what you're saying. I was doing an Eric Carmen impression. Jesse, I can't hear what you're saying. You guys watch
That'd
this?
be really funny, actually, Blake.
If I did an Eric Carmen impression. Whoa! Oh.
Hacker, how did you do that? How? How did you do that?
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. How did you...
Guess, how do you do
hacker.
that? I'm Eric Cartman.
Alright, so I gotta finish my story. I gotta finish my story.
It's not done? You've been done?
So what?
Hold on, wait.
What I gotta say. No, keep going.
It's been 9 minutes, dude.
So anyways, this dude...
I almost just killed
This
myself.
dude, he's freaking like...
You get it, his butt.
His butt is fat.
His
and
butt is huge. Like, huge.
Huge, like huge. So he's like, oh, I was a prostitute back in my country, and I saved up enough money to be able to leave and move to America. And then my barber just goes, so you became a prostitute and you saved up enough money to leave, and then you come to America and just to go back to being a prostitute.